Alexander the Great, Darius the Great, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan. What do these men have in common? Historians would consider them great men. There's a quote I like by a British historian called Lord Acton. It goes like this: great men are almost always bad men. What he means by this is quite simple. Let me ask you a question. Would you be able to order the killing of innocent women or children? If the answer is no, then you are automatically off the potential great men list. And don't feel bad, I am also off that list. It is what it is. We are how we are. There's another quote I like, this one by Stalin. And it goes like this: one death is a tragedy. A million deaths is a statistic. These are the types of ideas and thoughts that a person must have in order to be able to wage war knowing that innocent people will be killed. I myself can't do it, but I know that someone has to. There's another theory that I like, and excuse my pronunciation, it's called Thucydides' trap. In simple terms, what it means is that whenever an emerging power threatens to displace an already existing power, war is inevitable. I believe that war with China is inevitable, and I know this is an unpopular opinion, but why not peel off the band-aid and go to war? Even if you ignore Thucydides' trap and everything else, there are too many similarities between Nazi Germany and communist China for my comfort. So maybe, just maybe, war really is the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 a.m. I just got back home and I really wanted to make this video. I don't have a script or anything like that, but I do have a few notes of points that I want to hit, so excuse me if I look away from time to time. Now I want to start with the equivalence of Nazi Germany and Communist China. When I was young, probably around 4 or 5, I was taught about the Holocaust. I'm a Jew, so they teach us that when we're pretty young. And I remember thinking how disgusting it was. I was appalled, not only by what the Nazis did, but why did it take so long for other people, other nations, to react, to invade? I remember thinking, it can't happen again. Guess what? It's happening again. Not to Jews, but to Uyghurs. They have concentration camps in China. That's basically slavery. Maybe worse, maybe not. Maybe it's exactly the same thing. It's awful. It can't happen in 2021. Yet it's happening under a country in the UN. Part of the UN. How nice. They perform medical experimentation on the Uyghurs. The Nazis did the same thing to the Jews. It made me sick then, it makes me sick now. They performed forced abortions on the Uyghurs. They did the same to the Jews. It made me sick then and it makes me sick now. The communist China are Nazis. They act the same way, if not more cynical, if possible. There's something that another reason why Hitler wanted to go to war with the Soviets is because they wanted to invade for what Hitler liked to call Lebensraum. Living space, because the Germans deserved more living space. Is China not doing the same thing? They already took Hong Kong last year. Students are being subjugated to prison for protesting. Journalists are no longer journalists. Police are just, loyal to China. And now they want to take Taiwan. Is that not the same behavior that what we saw with Nazi Germany when they took Poland, when they took the Czech Republic, when they tried to take all the Soviet states? Yes, it's the same thing. The Communist Chinese Party is the moral equivalent of the Nazi Party, the German Nazi Party. And that's just one reason to invade. That's why I would do it. Because when I was young, I told myself, if people are subjugated based on their ethnicity to concentration camps, I will do whatever it takes to stop it. And I can tell you right now, if it was Jews that were in China, in concentration camps, it would be invaded. But it's Uyghurs, so it's not invaded. Well, guess what? That's wrong. The Uyghurs must be liberated. Does that mean war? Maybe it does. Now, the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, is pure evil and must be exterminated. Of course, there's a huge difference between the German Nazi Party and the Communist Chinese Party, and that is nuclear weaponry. The Nazis didn't have them, the Chinese do. And that's an issue. China is also working to increase its nuclear weapon arsenal because it's upset because the United States is investigating the COVID leak theory, and also because the United States is backing Taiwan, sending them vaccines and military aid. Good. We should back Taiwan with anything, whether it be missiles or soldiers. Maybe we could drop a couple bombs here and there. Now, is nuclear war a feasible option? Honestly, I don't know. But if they are working on increasing their nuclear arsenal, I think it's better to get them now than wait, 10 years till they have as many nuclear weapons than we do. Of course, nuclear Armageddon, where we deploy all our weapons and they deploy all of theirs, is not something I would like. That would mean the end of the world as we know it. Maybe the end of the species. And that's not good, and that's not what I want. Best case scenario, the Chinese people revolt and overthrow the CCP. That way, we avoid war, possible nuclear war, and the inevitable suffering of millions of people. I was listening to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, the last episode of his Supernova series, America's War in the Pacific in World War II, and he was talking about how when America dropped the nuclear weapons in Japan, the chaos and the destruction that it really brought. Dan Carlin's the best, and he zooms in and he really gives you personal stories. And I remember one of a woman, a mother, a wife. The nuclear weapon, the nuclear bomb dropped in Japan, and she was in her home with her husband and kids. Her home instantly collapsed. The fires were encroaching on her property, and they were hot. She could feel it on their skin. Her husband could barely move, but luckily he wasn't under debris. Her kids were, and she did everything she could to pull them out. She was trying and trying, and she couldn't. And the kids were crying, "Mommy, get me out. Mommy, please help. I can't feel my legs, Mom, help." Can you imagine? She was crying and she couldn't get them out. And the fire kept coming and getting closer and closer, and it was burning her to the point where she had to leave. She had to leave her children to burn to death. Her husband died later that day. And that's the kind of suffering that comes with war, specifically nuclear war. I don't want that. I don't want that. But something must be done to stop the Chinese Communist Party, because they are as evil as the Nazis, a lot more capable, and a lot more technologically capable. I don't like war. I don't like nuclear war, but something must be done. And before we leave, I have a controversial idea, another one. I remember thinking when I was young and I was taught about the Holocaust that, yeah, it was bad, but I was kind of thankful that it happened. Hear me out here. If it wasn't for Hitler and the Holocaust, which claimed several members of my family members from Europe would not have immigrated to America and South America. My grandparents would not have met, and therefore my parents would not have been born, and therefore I, your favorite YouTuber, would not have been born. So personally, sometimes I'm thankful of the Holocaust, but if I could prevent it from happening again, I would. And those are my opinions on the matter. If you agree, don't agree, comment down below. Let me know why. Call me a warmonger. I don't like war, but it is what it is. I think I've gotten to this point. Follow me on BitChute, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, follow me on all the social medias. Thank you for watching. Share if you think this is important. Hit the like button. See you next time. Thank you for watching.